What's going on, guys? Alec here from OzFury Gaming, here to talk about around the verse and the jump point. So it starts off with, they showed at the start of this week they had 76 bugs to fix, and some of those bugs included the invincibility bug, which is quite humorous, basically where the ship would fly into a person and the person would be completely fine, but the ship would self-detonate, and it kind of ruins the fun of trying to run people over, eh? So what they did was they had to go through and obviously fix it, and now it works a little bit better. It actually will annihilate people. There he goes. Right, so another bug that'll work out too was speed. Now this is sort of more of a balancing issue than bug fixing, but basically what happened was they were a bit worried about how long it would take to get around a planet, and the quantum travel between planets and things like that. So they had to sit down and really fine tune on what they wanted so they could have a realistic experience but also a fun experience at the same time. Other stuff is bugs are down to about 26 bugs. They did move a couple bugs out so Vocity can get it so they can do testing on those bugs later. But you know what, it's just nice to see that number going down. So mission systems, that's the other part of ATV. And they had Tony Zurich and a whole heap of other people come on and talk about mission systems and basically what it means. So mission systems, guys, is basically what we'll be doing to obviously earn UEC and have fun in the game. Now, it ranges from basically Subsubmission. Subsubmission is the, well, not back-end service, but it's what controls all the missions and allows us to actually have fun, and allows the developers to build these missions. Now, instead of having to code it all, the engineering team have built in these function blocks so the devs can actually easily and quickly build missions, a variety of missions, and change them in and out as they see fit. Now, I'll be interested to see too how this will apply later on. Like we've been told, we'll be able to actually get contracts to kind of get, for bounties or to have people come move cargo for us. So that'll be interesting to see how the Subsubmission will work for that. But as we can see, though, it can get quite complex and quite busy. They had to do many different tests to try and get things working the way they wanted, so it wouldn't feel like the exact same experience every single time. This being that, if you're doing the mission faster, they're throwing more enemies or different little bits and pieces like that. Now, other things that range from too, where, say, for example, if you're flying past, you might get a beacon saying, there's a destroyed ship or a black box or something similar to that, where you can go check it out. Or there might be a ship being attacked. There's not actually a mission tracker per se, but it's just a random, so you can drop it or use it. So that was interesting to see. So these things, guys, are all going to be coming into play more and more as the game develops. Obviously, with 3.0, we have a basic form of this, but they wanted to really show off the ideas and how they wanted to see it flourish, really. Now, Tony Zurich made a good point of saying, this is, as much as this is procedural generated, a lot of these missions, he said the thing that he never liked about procedural is it can become very bland. It's very shallow, it's broad, but it's not that much depth into it. But they said with what they've been able to create is an in-depth game station, or Subsubmission that is able to take the AI and really broaden the horizons, as well as have that nice depth where things can be slightly different between plays. If you do the same mission twice, there might be a slight tweak to it, or depending on what ship you use, you could change up what the AI sees with what you're doing. So there's a lot of different things going on here, guys, that really takes time, and one of the reasons why Star Citizen might take a while to get developed. Now, on to Jump Point. So they had the Gamescom guys, and they were having a chat to them, and as we know, it probably wasn't the greatest it could have been, but it still was exciting to see those Idris, or Idris, whatever you want to pronounce it, have a good battle. Also, too, a lot of other different things. Now, one thing, though, was the Cutlass seemed to get one shot by a railgun, and they confirm here that it would take more than one shot. It'll probably take quite a few shots. So it's quite exciting to see that, we're not going to be overpowered weapons just yet. So from here on, they showed on what I thought was important was the Cutlass and the Quilla and the good old Aurora. So on the Cutlass here, they're showing off the cockpit, obviously, concept art, and a few other different pieces here on the bottom. And then they started showing off the actual sort of grey box, but the outside of the ship. So we can see here the doors on the side will actually open up so we can get cargo in and out a lot easier. Also, I could foresee that, allowing maybe for a quick drop for, say, a Nox or something like that. Here we have a proper rendered inside, so we can see the doors here on the bottom picture to the left hand side. Then also we have these front crew quarters where we have gun racks and a few other things. So as we can see, the Cutlass has grown a lot bigger. I'd say it's between the size of the Freelancer and the Constellation. So a great sort of 3-4 man crew. Now what we have here is the escape pods. Now I was reading some of apparently the Cutlass wasn't meant to have escape pods, but you know what? If it does, it does. It's a good feature to have, so you can get the hell out of there when things start going AY. Now what we have here is some more crew quarters, as well as that cargo hold like we were looking at before. So the crew quarters, well, it's very cramped, and it does have that good old Drake feel, like with, for example, the Caterpillar. Yellow handles, very robust and industrial, and like especially here with these amenity facilities, you know, obviously they take the same assets across because it's the same company and all that sort of blah blah blah, but it's still nice to see it have that familiar feel. Very good job, guys. Now, I haven't got too much on the Aquila here, but note now we have the radar dish up on the top there, and see how large it actually is. I could see that being shot off so easily. And also too, we can also see that the front glass is different compared to what the Constellation is now. The colours are different too on the ship, and there's just minor details that do change up between the Constellation Andromeda and the Constellation Aquila, which is really nice, making it not feel like just a generic variant, but a true variant in itself. So speaking of variants, guys, we pick up on the Aurora in this Jump Point magazine. So the ES here is the starter pack, like it's the El Cheapo of the ships. It's the cheapest ship you can buy in the game. Followed by there, we have the MR. This ship comes standard in the starter pack at the moment, so either the $45 or the $60 Aurora pack, you'll be getting this bad boy. Now, he's slightly better than the ES in regards to missiles, but besides that, it's basically the same ship, just different skin, obviously. Then we have the CL. The CL is sort of like the next one up. It's sort of like that intermediate model. It doesn't have anything special about it, but there's nothing bad about it either. Like, it is sort of unique to itself. Then following on from here, we have the LX. The LX is the luxury model, and we'll look at its interior and its seat a bit later. Now, you might be wondering, well, for an Aurora, how can you get luxury? Well, you know what? If there's a way to be luxury, it's like sort of getting a truck and putting leather seats in it. It's just nice. Then we have the LN. Now, this bad boy is the military version or the militia version. Packs heaps of firepower. 4 sets of guns instead of standard 2 like the rest of the Aurora series. Bulk missiles, just a good vessel all around. Slightly heavier though, obviously. So, as we can see on the interior here, guys, it's had a really nice rework. If you haven't seen what the Aurora looks like now, go check it out. There's heaps of videos and stuff out there. But as we can see, they've really tied it up and made really nice too, the interior, especially where the cockpit is. So here we are, talking about that LX seat before. We have the ES versus the LX, and that LX seat is specific to the LX. You can't get it on any other variant of the Aurora. So, with this into account, guys, it depends where you want to spend your money. Now, other things that the Aurora has, which is fairly unique to it, is its skins. It's one of the only ships at the moment that will be able to actually equip skins as we see fit. So here we have the Star Kitten skin, which, go figure if you like it, the Navy skin. I want to point out too that other ships will be available to change skins, they've said that, but at the moment it's just the Aurora. So here we have the Pirate skin and a Signature skin. I don't really know what the Signature is meant to be about, but obviously the Pirate skin's for those who want to go around causing trouble. You know, be part of Nine Tails or whatever you want to do. Here we have the Midnight skin and the Operation Pitchfork. Not sure what Operation Pitchfork is. I'll need to look into that a bit more, but it's quite a nice looking, well, interesting skin. It's not the best skin out of all of them, but it is interesting. And to finish it off, guys, we have the Big Bennies for those who are noodle lovers and the Crash Test, so for those who want to just go ramming things. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and got some information out of it. Let us know what you thought about it. There wasn't too much in around the verse really to talk about, so thanks again for watching. Toodaloo.